Did you know that World Goth Day is right around the corner? It's time to celebrate with some really nice goth garden staples. As Moana Nursery's resident goth plant doctor, I'd love to talk you through some of my favorites today. Now, there's no one right way to show off your style in a goth garden, especially because there's no right way to be a goth. So really, the most important thing that I find when it comes to choosing plants for your garden is grow stuff you're gonna be happy with. Choose things that are gonna be hardy and fit the right spot for your specific garden niche. There are lots of plants that you can use in these kinds of gardens that fill out just about any role. Trees, shrubs, perennials, annuals, even some goth veggies that you can add to your garden to add some spice. Now, that being said, I'd love to share some of my top styling tips for a goth garden aesthetic. Number one, I would say, is to remember that black in the garden comes in many different tones. There's all sorts of different cool undertones, red undertones, warmer undertones. Most plants aren't that kind of true black color, like if you're taking a paint swatch and just swiping it on the wall. It's gonna have some sort of added color to it or some sort of shift when it hits the light. So feel free to mix it up. Don't just use one type of black plant. Mix it up and add a lot of different colors for more depth. My second tip for building a goth garden would be to use color with intention. If you just have all sorts of black plants, it's gonna be nice and dark, but nothing's really gonna pop to your eye. So one thing that I would recommend is take advantage of using color strategically to make those blacks really come out. So one thing that I would use is I like to use neon green. Silver always brings out a nice black tone in the garden, and occasionally pops of color. One thing that I like to keep in mind is if I have a favorite color that I like to use, say it's pink, or it's blue, or it's red, I like to use that in some of my plants as well, just to kind of make it my own and give it a nice kind of unexpected jump when you need it. Another tip I would recommend is choose your plants not just for aesthetics, but also for their function. In a garden, you need all sorts of plants to play different roles. Sometimes you need a hedge in one place, you'll need a specimen plant in another. So really keep it in focus what you're wanting to use that specific plant for. That can really make or break your design, especially if you bought all this plant material and you want to put it in the right spot so it's going to thrive. So make sure that you're choosing things with kind of their form and their beauty in mind. Another tip I recommend is really play with textures and shapes. Now, goth gardens, just because there's a lot of one color or a few select colors, doesn't mean it has to be boring. You really want to make sure that texture is at the forefront of your design. There are so many different amazing leaf shapes, different sizes of plants, different shapes of flowers that can really kind of push and pull and really bring things to the forefront of the visual setting for your garden. So I definitely recommend mixing it up. If you use something frilly, use something with a nice big flat leaf next to it, and they'll just kind of play with each other really nicely. Lastly, and most importantly, make it fun. Plant things that you enjoy. Plant your favorite things. And really make sure that you are doing it as to your taste. Being unapologetically goth takes a lot of courage, and so does doing what you love. So make sure that whatever you plant, you really want it to be there. It's not gonna be fun if you just pick something just because it's a dark color and you end up putting it there and you hate it. We wanna make sure that you're happy with your gardens, so make it just as personal as your own perfect goth heart. Now that we've gone over some basics of design tips, let's go over some of my favorite goth garden staple plants. We're gonna start with trees because trees are often the biggest investment in your landscape, and they also will influence a lot of design choices later on. As the longest living specimens in your garden, I find it's often best to design around your tree specimens and make sure that you're gonna grow things together. It's gonna fill in really nicely. Now, if you want a tree that's gonna make a statement, I would opt for the Crimson Century Norway Maple. They have beautiful, lush foliage. Talk about a nice, deep burgundy. They have a really nice canopy, make a perfect shade tree, and they're quite hardy as well. So if you're looking for something big for a wow factor, go with the Crimson Century. Now, if you want a good specimen tree that's gonna give you some show-stopping flowers, my go-to choice for a goth garden is the Evening Light Japanese Snowbell. These are beautiful trees that get really dainty white flowers, but their foliage is really dark and packs a punch. They have smaller shaped leaves and they don't get too large in the landscape, which makes them a great choice for a standalone or a specimen tree. Now, if you're struggling with a shady spot, but you want to put a tree there, I always recommend Japanese maples. My personal favorite for a goth garden would be the Bloodgood Japanese maple. Not only does it sound fierce in name, but they are excellent specimen trees. They have nice dark red foliage, and they are just gonna thrive in that afternoon shade environment. So they're a great understory tree to have in your goth garden. This next one is definitely a weird one, but it's sure to not disappoint. Harry Lauder's walking stick is one of my personal favorites for adding some good texture to your garden. It's got these wonderful contorted branches that kind of twist and curve in unexpected spiral shapes. Their leaves are green, which will make them a good pop for some of your darker foreground plants, but they are a wonderful, hardy shrub, and they kind of grew up to be a tree. They're kind of that weird line between, is it a tree, is it a shrub? I don't know. It's beautiful though, so you should get one. Moving right along to our next category of plants is our shrubs. My #1 favorite shrub for any garden, not just a goth garden, but it's a staple, would be the black lace elderberry. Black lace elderberries have gorgeous leaves. They are very deeply lobed. They have a very, hence the name, lacy look to them, which makes them a really nice background plant or a specimen. They get to be about 8 to 10 feet tall at maturity, so definitely a large plant to have, and they get these beautiful, fragrant, creamy pink blossoms that are a pollinator favorite. So not only are you gonna love it, but your bugs are gonna love it also. Ladybugs use those leaves to lay their eggs under. They're a great bee favorite as well. Everybody loves the black lace elderberry. Something interesting about the black lace elderberry also, since it's an elderberry, you can eat the berries. The one thing I would recommend though is please do not eat them raw. Not only do they not really taste good raw, but if you eat too many, they can make you sick. So they're best to use in preserves or in jams. My mom used to make a wonderful elderberry syrup that's really good for keeping you healthy. Now, if you don't have 10 feet to fit a black lace elderberry in your garden, I would recommend substituting for a Diablo 9 bark. These are wonderful, dramatic foliage plants. They have a really dense habit, and they also have really nice flowers. They're also a pollinator favorite, and they're a very good choice for a sunny spot, or if you have a little bit of shade, they don't mind. Now, one plant that's been all the rage in the goth gardening world is the eclipse hydrangea. Hydrangeas are known for their beautiful flowers, but did you know this one has some amazing foliage as well? They have dark, almost true black leaves with the slightest purple undertone, and their flowers usually come out a pink, sometimes even dark red and purple, depending on what the soil pH is and how much sun they're getting. They're a great shade shrub, and they're definitely a favorite and loved by many goth gardeners. My last shrub recommendation, I mean, there's so many I could go on forever, but let's be real, you don't want to hear all that. The last shrub I'm going to talk about today is the consort black currant. This is a wonderful edible shrub, produces a sweet black berry that's, again, really good for jams and preserves. They're also loved by many pollinators and serve as a good food source for wildlife as well. So if you want to do the good thing as a gardener and give back to the critters that love you too, make sure to plant some nice edible plants that they can forage in. So the consort black currant is perfect for that. Moving on to perennials, these plants are very versatile. There's so many different perennials, and this is really where you can kind of get a lot of your color play coming in, just because the amount of textures, patterns, colors perennials come in. So starting right off with the northern exposure coral bells, heucheras come in all sorts of different colors. This particular variety has kind of a reddish burgundy undertone, and the leaves kind of have a soft fuzz to the underside. So they're really good for a shady spot, and you can mass them or use them along borders. And they also send up these lovely stalks full of cream to pink flowers in the late spring, early summer. So definitely a good one to keep on hand. Now remember, just because you're making a goth garden doesn't mean every plant needs to be black. So if you're looking for something that's really gonna pack a punch when you put it next to your dark foliage, we have a lot of beautiful hostas that will provide that pop that you need. This one is called Cherry Berry Hosta, and these are also another great shade perennial. Beautiful foliage, nice wide leaves. They will also flower in the late summer. They'll send up a spike of purple to white flowers. But these are an excellent choice for planting in and among some of your darker perennials as well. Astilbes are another great plant for a shady spot. They get these really nice plumes of flowers that have this very delicate feathery look. They're great for layering for that reason. My personal favorite choice for a goth garden would be the Fennel Astilbe, because these plumes are a deep, bright red that'll just really pop with whatever colors you have going on. If you've got a spot for a vine, or if you're looking for something to fill your trellis in, look no further than clematis. Clematis come in all sorts of shapes and colors, so depending on which color you're going to choose to pop the tones in your goth garden, there's lots of different clematis options for you. My personal favorite is the Boulevard Nubia clematis. They get these beautiful Bordeaux colored flowers, probably about the size of my hand. They're very large. Definitely gonna make a statement. They do really, really well with a lot of sun, helping the flowers to open, but their roots definitely need some coolness, some shade to keep them happy during the heat of the summer. So if you've got a trellis, clematis is the plant for you. Some other favorites of mine for texture and color are dead nettle and also artemisia. Both of these have a beautiful silvery sheen to them, which is gonna make any dark tones in your garden really pop. So dead nettle and artemisia are both excellent options for something that's gonna have a bit of a ghostly finish to your goth garden. Dead nettle is gonna spread out, makes it a nice ground cover or border plant. It also gets really nice kind of purpley magenta flowers. And come on, let's face it, the name dead nettle, made for a goth garden. Artemisia has natural pest deterrent properties. They are really, really good. They're also used medicinally, but they kind of have a nice fragrance to them as well, but very soft leaf texture that's going to make them ideal for a goth garden. Now, if you're looking for a really, really dark foliage plant for a sunny spot, cherry truffle stonecrop is the plant for you. These guys have such dark coloration to them, really nice purple and red undertones, and they also get these nice kind of fiery magenta flowers to them through the summertime. So they're a great plant. The bees also love them, so they're great for a pollinator-friendly option, but very drought-tolerant once they're established and very hardy. So cherry truffle stonecrop is a surefire winner. Now this black negligee plant might not look like much now, but these things can actually grow to 3 to 4 feet tall. They're a really large statement perennial, beautiful lacy leaves, similar to the black lace elderberry, and they also get these long plumes of white flowers in the mid to late summer. So they are an excellent goth garden plant. Beautiful, can handle, they prefer some afternoon shade to keep this delicate foliage from burning, but definitely a great statement plant to add to your garden. My last perennial recommendation for this video is the black scallop ajuga. It's a really nice ground cover option. Prefer a little bit of shade, as most goth plants do. We burn really easy in the sun. So they have these beautiful, beautiful purple flowers that are a really good statement. They're very low growing, but they'll sprawl. So if you're looking for something to cover some ground, look no further than this beautiful ground cover. Now there's lots of great edible plants that you can include in your goth garden as well. One of my favorites, if you're into fruit trees, is the Salavatsky pomegranate. These are a wonderful cold hardy pomegranate that is actually capable of withstanding temperatures of around 0 degrees. So they're gonna be hardy for our desert winters here. They also, when they get a lot of sun, get this really nice red tint to their foliage. Not to mention, I love pomegranates. They're delicious. Really nice kind of sweet, bitter play between the flavors. Delicious for fresh eating, or if you wanted to include them as a staple in your breakfast, good idea, full of antioxidants. Scarlet kale is another one of my favorites. Not only is the foliage delicious, but it's also a beautiful, perfect dark color. They have a really nice purpley sheen to them, beautiful kind of lacing around the edges. So not only is kale a great edible plant as it's full of vitamins, it's also really good as an ornamental as well. So scarlet kale is definitely one I would add to my goth garden. Another one is these bull's blood beets. Not only is the name quite fitting for a goth garden, but they have beautiful, beautiful fruits that'll settle underground. And when they're ready, you'll start to see the crown of the beet push above the soil. That's how you know they're gonna be good and ready to pick. So when you pull those, you're gonna see the most beautiful wine-colored beets you've ever grown. These are excellent for flavor, and beets are really good for your heart health. So, you know, winner for both of these. Now, May's a big month for tomatoes here in Reno. So some of my favorites for a Goth garden are the black crim tomato. It's a really nice, larger beefsteak tomato, perfect for slicing. Or if you're more of a cherry picker like I am with my cherries, I like them sweet, ready to go right off the vine. Midnight Snack is the cherry for you. Beautiful kind of eggplant purple cherry tomatoes. They're beautiful when they ripen, and they're also delicious. So definitely one that I would have in my garden. Now to wrap up your Goth garden, you want to make sure that your containers are set to match with the rest of your landscape. So for planting annuals, there's some great Goth garden essentials. One of them is Dusty Miller. Similar to the Artemisia and the dead nettle that we looked at earlier, this has a beautiful kind of silvery tone that's going to make those nice dark reds and dark blues, dark purples really pop. So this is definitely one that I like to use as a filler in my baskets and containers. I also love black sweet potato vine. It has a beautiful, deeply lobed leaves that have this, they start out kind of green, but as they mature, they get this really deep purple to black color. Excellent for a shade basket, and they're just gonna crawl all over the place. So if you want a really nice dramatic trailing plant, sweet potato vine is the one for you. Black petunias are another excellent plant to add in your containers. They have a beautiful velvety flower to them with a nice kind of sheen texture when they hit the sun. They're also one of the blackest of the dark plants that we have to offer. So if you're looking for a nice true black, you know, not really much of an undertone other than really nice, dark, dramatic midnight color, I would definitely opt for the black mamba petunia. It's got really nice, larger petunia flowers, will make really nice mass filler in your baskets, but a very showy flower that's gonna bloom all summer long for you. Now to finish up our video today, I'm gonna talk about one more beautiful plant. Look at her. This is the Memories calla lily. She is an absolute showstopper. Beautiful kind of dark green with a burgundy Bordeaux underside to them for the leaves. The flowers actually have this beautiful deep black kind of purple finish to them. They have a really nice shine. They're super lustrous, and they have some nice height to them as well. So if I was looking for a good centerpiece, calla lily, specifically this Memories calla lily, is gonna be the plant of your dreams. Now I hope this video was as fun for you as it was for me to make. Remember, if you have any questions or if you're trying to hunt down some of these plants listed in the video, any of our sales teammates at any of our locations are happy to help you out. I hope you have a beautiful, lovely Goth summer, and you can always come find me at our Moana Lane location if you have questions. Have a wonderful day.